My manipulative ex threatened to post my pictures online if I didn't come back until I posted them myself and started an OnlyFans. My name is Amber and I'm 27 years old. 3 months ago I was crying in my apartment bathroom, staring at my phone while my ex-boyfriend Marcus sent me message after message, threatening to ruin my life. The messages kept coming. You'll regret leaving me. I have those pictures you sent me. Remember? Come back or everyone you know sees them. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely hold my phone. We'd been broken up for 6 weeks. 6 weeks of freedom that I'd finally started to enjoy. And now this. I sat there on the cold bathroom floor for maybe an hour just thinking. My best friend Riley had warned me about Marcus from the beginning. She'd said something was off about how he always needed to know where I was. How he'd check my phone when I was in the shower. How he'd get angry if I didn't text back within minutes. But I'd been stupid. I thought it was love. The pictures he was talking about weren't even that bad. Laundry shots mostly. A few topless ones. Things couples send each other. But my family didn't know about them. My coworkers at the insurance company definitely didn't know. And Marcus knew exactly how much damage he could do. I called Riley. He's threatening me, I said. My voice came out all choked up. He says he's going to post my pictures everywhere if I don't get back together with him. Riley was quiet for a second. Then she said something I didn't expect, so post them yourself. What? I'm serious, Amber. Take away his power. He's counting on your shame. On you being scared. But what if you just didn't care? Riley, I can't just listen to me. My cousin Victoria did something similar last year. Her ex tried the same thing. He beat him to it. Posted them on her terms. Started making money from it. Now she makes more in a month than she used to make in 6 months at her job. I laughed. Sounded kind of hysterical. You want me to become a content creator? I want you to take control of your own life. We talked for 2 more hours. By the end of it I'd stopped crying. Something had shifted in my chest. Marcus had spent our entire 2-year relationship making me feel small. Making me feel like I needed his approval for everything, like I was lucky he put up with me. And now he thought he could control me even after I'd left. No, I spent the next 3 days researching. I made accounts on different platforms. I looked up how other women did this successfully. I talked to Victoria, Riley's cousin, who walked me through everything: the safety measures, the boundaries, how to keep your real identity separate, how to handle the money side of things. Victoria came over to my apartment on day 3. She brought her laptop and a notebook full of tips. First rule, she said, never show anything you're not comfortable with. This is your business. You set the boundaries. The second rule, never meet anyone in person. Never give out personal information. Keep your real life separate. That makes sense. Third rule, make them pay up front always. And fourth, save everything. Every payment, every message. You're running a business now, so you need records. She walked me through setting up payment processors, showed me how to price things. Explained the difference between different types of content. By the time she left, my head was spinning, but I felt ready. And then I took new pictures, better ones, professional ones. I was in control this time. Every shot was my choice, my angle, my decision. I spent hours getting everything right. The lighting, the poses, the expressions. It was weird at first, being so deliberate about it. But then something clicked. This wasn't about being attractive for someone else. This was about creating something, a product, a business. When I launched my account, I sent Marcus one final message. Thanks for the idea. Check out my new business venture. I included the link. Then I blocked him on everything. The first week was terrifying. I kept expecting the sky to fall. But instead something else happened. I made $2,000 in 1 week. My hands were shaking again, but this time from excitement. I was working my regular insurance job during the day, then coming home and working on content at night. It was exhausting but thrilling. For the first time in years, I felt like I had control over something. Riley came over that Friday night with wine and Chinese food. So she said, grinning, "How's business?" "I can't believe this is real," I said. "Do you know how long it would take me to make $2,000 extra at my regular job? I'd have to work overtime for months. See, I told you Victoria's making like $15,000 a month now." $15,000? Yeah, she quit her job. She travels. She does whatever she wants. I couldn't even imagine that kind of freedom. But a tiny seed of possibility planted itself in my chest. The second week I made $3,000. The third week $5,000. My coworker Melissa noticed I seemed different. We were in the break room and she asked if I'd started dating someone new. You're just glowing, she said. Happy. I haven't seen you like this in forever. I'm just in a better place, I said. Which was true. Good. You deserve it. That Marcus guy was terrible for you. I almost told her. Almost said what I was really doing, but I held back. The fewer people who knew, the better. By the end of the first month, I'd made $12,000, more than my monthly salary at the insurance company. I was still processing it all when my phone rang. It was my older brother, Tyler. My stomach dropped. Tyler and I were close. He was protective. Probably too protective sometimes. If he'd found out about this, I said, trying to sound normal. Amber, his voice was tight. We need to talk about what? Don't play dumb. Mom called me crying. Someone sent her a link to some website with your pictures on it. My blood went cold. Who sent it? Does it matter? Is it real? Is that actually you? I closed my eyes. This was the moment I'd been dreading, but something Riley said came back to me. Own it. Don't apologize for taking control of your life. Yes, I said. It's me. And before you start lecturing me, lecturing you, Amber, do you have any idea how this looks? Mom is devastated. Dad won't even talk about it. And Aunt Caroline saw it too, because apparently whoever did this sent it to half the family. Let me guess, I said. Marcus. Tyler paused. Your ex? Why would he? Because I wouldn't take him back. He threatened to post pictures I'd sent him privately. So I took control and posted them myself on my terms. And I'm making money doing it. Good money. Jesus, Amber. I'm 27 years old, Tyler. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not hurting anyone. And honestly, for the first time in 2 years, I feel like myself again. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he sighed. How much money are we talking about? I made $12,000 last month. Holy. Yeah, that's more than I make. I know. Another long pause. Mom's still going to be upset. I know that too. But I'm not going to apologize for it. Marcus tried to weaponize my body against me. I turned it into a business. That's not something to be ashamed of. Tyler sighed again. You're going to have to talk to them. I will. But Tyler, I'm not stopping. I didn't think you would. You're stubborn like that. He paused. For what it's worth, I think what you did took guts. I don't know if I could have done it. Really? Really? Marcus is a piece of garbage for what he did. And you turned it around on him. That's pretty impressive. Relief flooded through me. Thanks, Tyler. But you still need to call Mom. The conversation with my parents was worse. My mom cried. My dad barely looked at me. They didn't understand. They didn't want to understand. My mom kept saying things like, what will people think and how could you do this to us? This isn't about you, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. This is about me taking control of my own life by taking your clothes off on the internet. My dad said, his voice was cold, disappointed. By refusing to be a victim, I shot back. Marcus tried to destroy me. I refused to let him. There were other ways, were there? Should I have just gone back to him? Let him control me. Let him threaten me for the rest of my life. My mom wiped her eyes. We're just worried about you, about your safety, about your future. My future is fine, better than fine. I'm making more money than I ever did at that insurance job. I'm saving. I'm investing. I'm building something. But I stood my ground. The hardest part was seeing the disappointment in their faces. But I kept reminding myself that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was an adult making adult decisions about my own body. I left their house feeling exhausted. Riley called me on the drive home. How'd it go? About as bad as expected. They'll come around. Maybe, maybe not. They will. Trust me, once they see you're serious about this, once they see you're successful and happy, they'll come around. Riley was my rock through all of it. She'd come over and we'd work on content together. She'd help me with lighting and angles and coming up with ideas. He never judged me. Never made me feel like I should be ashamed. Your parents will come around, she said one night. We were sitting on my couch editing photos. Or they won't. But either way, you're not responsible for their feelings about your choices. I just wish they could see that Marcus was trying to hurt me and I refused to be a victim. They will eventually. Give them time. But time did something else I wasn't expecting. My account kept growing. By month 2, I was making $18,000. I started getting requests for custom content. Some of it was weird, but none of it crossed my boundaries. I learned to price things higher, to value my time and energy. Riley helped me set up a website, a professional one, not just my platform accounts. We created packages, different tiers. It felt surreal treating this like a real business, but that's what it was. By month 3 I was making $25,000. I quit my job at the insurance company. My boss asked why and I told her I'd gotten a better opportunity, which was true even if I left out the specifics. My coworker Melissa took me out for goodbye drinks. "So what's the new job?" she asked. "I'm starting my own business." "Doing what?" "Online content creation." She didn't push for more details and I was grateful. We talked about other things. About how much we both hated our manager. About her upcoming wedding. Normal things. When we said goodbye, she hugged me tight. "Good luck with everything. I hope it works out." "Thanks, Melissa." Then month 4 happened. I got a message from someone I didn't recognize. The account was new. No profile picture. The message said, "Hey Amber, it's me. Can we talk?" I almost deleted it, but something made me check the account details. The email associated with it had Marcus' name in it. My stomach twisted. I should have just blocked it, but curiosity got the better of me. "What do you want?" I typed back. The response came within seconds. "I'm sorry for everything. I was angry when you left and I did something terrible. I've been in therapy working on myself. I know I can't undo what I did, but I wanted you to know I'm sorry." I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me wanted to believe it. The part that had loved him for 2 years. But a bigger part of me remembered the threats, the manipulation, the control. "Thanks for the apology," I wrote back. "But I've moved on. Please don't contact me again." His next message came through before I could block him. "I know. I saw your account is doing really well. I'm happy for you." "Really? You deserve good things." Something about that message felt off, but I couldn't put my finger on what. I blocked him anyway. Riley came over that night and I told her about it. "That's creepy," she said immediately. "Why would he be checking your account?" "I don't know. Maybe he's just, I don't know, feeling guilty." "Amber." Riley's face was serious. "Guys like Marcus don't just suddenly feel guilty. There's always an angle." He was right. I knew she was right, but I tried to push it out of my mind. 2 weeks later I found out what the angle was. I was checking my business email when I saw a message from a platform admin. The subject line said, "Copyright claim." My heart sank as I opened it. Someone had filed a copyright claim on several of my photos. The ones from when Marcus and I were still together, the ones I'd taken with my phone, but he'd been there for some of them, had helped set up a few shots. The claim was from Marcus. He was saying he owned the copyright because he'd taken some of the pictures and he wanted them removed, or he wanted a cut of my earnings. I called Victoria immediately. "Can he do this?" I asked. "Can he actually claim copyright?" "It's complicated," Victoria said. "If he took the photos, technically he might own the copyright, but you're the subject, so there are personality rights involved. You need a lawyer, a real one." I spent the next week in consultations with lawyers. It was expensive just to talk to them. The consultations alone cost me over $2,000, but they all said basically the same thing. This could get messy. Copyright law was complicated. Even if I won, it would cost money and time. But one lawyer, a woman named Jennifer Chin, said something different. "Here's the thing," she said, "your ex is banking on you being scared on you settling with him because it's easier. But I looked at your case. Most of these photos you took them yourself. You just sent them to him. That means you own the copyright. The few he did take. There's an argument for implied license since you were in a relationship and he gave them to you. Plus, what he's doing borders on extortion. Threatening to expose intimate images unless you pay him. That's illegal in most states. So what do I do? You file a countersuit for harassment, attempted extortion, and emotional distress. You make this painful for him and I guarantee he'll back off." I sat with that for a day. The retainer alone would be $10,000. It was a huge chunk of my savings. But I thought about all the messages, all the threats, the way he'd tried to control me even after I'd left. The way he'd sent those links to my family just to humiliate me. "Okay," I told Jennifer, "let's do it." We filed the countersuit. Marcus' lawyer called 2 days later wanting to settle. "Drop everything, both sides walk away." Jennifer advised me to take it. "You won," she said. "He's backing down. That's what you wanted." But I thought about all the women who might come after me. All the people Marcus might try to hurt in the future. All the times he'd made me feel small and powerless. "No," I said. "I want to go forward with the harassment and extortion charges. I want this on record." Jennifer smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." The case took 3 months. It was stressful and exhausting, and there were days I wanted to give up. Marcus' lawyer tried everything. They tried to paint me as vindictive. They tried to make it seem like I was doing this for publicity. They tried to shame me for what I did. But Jennifer was brilliant. She had emails, text messages, screenshots of everything Marcus had done. She made it clear that this was about a man trying to control and extort his ex-girlfriend, not about what I chose to do with my own body. Riley kept me going. She came to court dates with me. Victoria checked in constantly. Even my brother Tyler started coming to show support. And slowly something else happened. My parents started asking questions, real questions about why I'd done this, about what Marcus had done, about how I was feeling. My mom came over one afternoon, just her, no dad. She sat on my couch and looked around my apartment. I'd moved to a bigger place, nicer furniture, art on the walls, plants by the windows. You did all this yourself? She asked. Yeah, Mom, I did. She was quiet for a minute. Then she said, I don't understand what you do. And I don't think I ever will, but I can see you're happy. Happier than you were with Marcus. I'm happy. And you're safe doing this. I'm careful. I have boundaries. I don't show my face in half the content. I use a stage name. I'm smart about it. She nodded slowly. Your father and I, we came from a different time, different values, but you're our daughter, and I'm sorry I made you feel like you had to choose between us and your choices. I started crying. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry I disappointed you. You didn't disappoint me, honey. I was just scared. Scared someone would hurt you. Scared you were making a mistake. But I can see now that you're not. You're taking care of yourself. You're standing up for yourself. And that's what we always wanted for you. We hugged for a long time. Does Dad feel the same way? I asked. Your father is stubborn, but he's coming around. Give him time. The case against Marcus settled a month later. He agreed to a restraining order, paid my legal fees, and the harassment charges stayed on his record. It wasn't a huge victory, but it was enough. Jennifer called me after the final hearing. You did good, Amber. You stood up for yourself. That takes courage. Thank you for everything. If you ever need anything else, you let me know. Women like you are changing things, making it harder for men like Marcus to get away with this stuff. And my business kept growing. By month 6, I was making $35,000 a month. I'd hired Riley as my assistant and photographer. He quit her job too. We were a team. I can't believe this is my life now. Riley said one day. We were setting up for a shoot in my living room. Right. A year ago we were both stuck in jobs we hated. Now we're working together and making bank. It's crazy. By month 9 I was making close to $50,000 a month. I bought a house, a small one, but it was mine. All mine, no mortgage. My dad came to see it before I moved in. He walked through the room slowly, checking out the foundation, the roof, the electrical work. Typical dad stuff. This is a good house, he said finally. You got a good deal. Thanks, Dad. He turned to look at me. I'm sorry for how I reacted when I first found out. I was wrong, Dad. But let me say this. I was scared for you. I didn't understand what you were doing. I still don't completely. But I can see you're doing well. You're successful. You're independent. And you're happy. That's all I ever wanted for you. I know your mother and I are proud of you. I need you to know that. I hugged him tight. Thank you. Victoria and I started meeting up regularly. She introduced me to other women doing the same thing. We formed a kind of support network, a group of about 15 women. We'd meet once a month at someone's house. Share tips and safety advice and business strategies. Support each other. One of the women, Natasha, had been doing this for 5 years. She was like our unofficial leader. The biggest thing she told us at one meeting is community. Having other people who understand, who don't judge, who can help when things get hard. Things get hard for you? Someone asked. Natasha made over $100,000 a month. Of course, I deal with harassment, stalkers, family judgment. It's not always easy, but having you all makes it better. We all nodded. It was true. This group of women understood things nobody else could. 1 year after I'd posted that first picture, I was sitting in my new house with Riley. We just finished a shoot and were drinking wine in my backyard. Do you ever think about what would have happened if you'd just given in to Marcus? Riley asked. I thought about it. Really thought about it. I'd probably still be with him, I said. Still miserable, still small, still thinking I needed his permission to exist. And now I'm free. My phone buzzed. It was a message from my mom. She and Dad wanted to come over for dinner next week. We're proud of you. The message said, we'd like to celebrate your success. I showed Riley. He grinned. See, I told you they'd come around. You were right about everything, I said. When you told me to post them myself, I thought you were crazy. I was a little crazy. But sometimes crazy is what you need. We sat there as the sun set drinking wine and laughing about everything that had happened. About how a threat had turned into a business, how shame had turned into power, how someone trying to destroy me had actually set me free. The next week my parents came over. Tyler brought his wife Hannah. Riley stayed too because she was basically family at this point. My dad was awkward at first. He didn't really know what to say, but eventually he asked me about the house, about how business worked, about my plans for the future. I'm thinking about diversifying, I said. Maybe starting a coaching program for other women who want to do this safely. Victoria and I have been talking about it. Coaching? My mom asked. Yeah, there's a lot of women who want to do this but don't know where to start. Don't know how to stay safe or set boundaries or handle the business side. We could help them. Tyler raised his glass. That's actually really smart, Amber. You'd be good at that. My dad cleared his throat. I'm sorry, he said suddenly. Everyone went quiet. I'm sorry I didn't support you when this all started. I was judgmental and close-minded. Your mother and I both were. We should have trusted you to know what was best for your life, Dad. No, let me finish. What you did took courage. Standing up to Marcus. Standing up to us. Building something from nothing. I'm proud of you. Even if I don't completely understand it, I'm proud of you. I started crying again. My mom was crying. Even Riley was tearing up. Hannah handed out tissues. Group hug, Tyler announced. And we all gathered together in my kitchen. This weird little family unit supporting each other. We had dinner and it was nice, normal, like maybe we could all move forward from here. A few weeks later, Victoria and I officially launched our coaching program. We called it Empowered Content. The name was cheesy, but we didn't care. Within the first month, we had 20 women sign up. Women who'd been through similar situations. Women who wanted to take control of their own narratives. One of our first clients was a woman named Brittany. She was 24. Her ex had done almost the exact same thing Marcus had done. Threatened to post pictures unless she came back. She was terrified. You don't have to be scared. I told her on our first call. You have more power than you think. But what if my family finds out? What if I lose my job? Those are valid concerns. That's why we teach you how to protect yourself, how to keep your identity separate, how to set boundaries. We walked her through everything. How to choose the right platforms, how to price content, how to handle difficult customers, how to stay safe online and offline. By the end of the month, she'd launched her own account. She was making money. She was smiling again. Thank you, she said on our follow-up call. I can't believe I almost let him win. That's what guys like that count on. I said, they count on us being too scared to fight back. But when we take away their power, they have nothing. Another client, Monica, was 32 and going through a divorce. Her husband had controlled every aspect of her life for 8 years. She had no job, no money of her own, nothing. I just want to be independent, she told me. I want to support myself. We worked with her for 3 months. She started slow, building confidence. By month 3, she was making enough to rent her own apartment. Away from her husband. I can't thank you enough, she cried on our call. You gave me my life back. You gave yourself your life back. I told her. We just showed you how. Victoria and I kept growing the coaching business alongside our content creation. Some months I was making over $60,000 combined. It was surreal. I kept thinking someone would show up and tell me it was all fake, that I had to go back to my cubicle at the insurance company. But it was real. All of it. I started getting recognized sometimes, not my face since I kept that private in most content, but other content creators would recognize my business name. My coaching program, one woman came up to me at a coffee shop. Are you Amber from Empowered Content? I tensed up. Yes. I just wanted to say thank you. I took your program 6 months ago. I was in an abusive relationship and I didn't think I could leave, but your program gave me the tools I needed, the confidence. I left him. I'm supporting myself now. I'm happy. He started crying. I started crying. We hugged in the middle of the coffee shop while other customers stared. Thank you for sharing that, I said. It means everything. I ran into Marcus one day completely by accident. I was at the grocery store and he was in the produce section. We made eye contact and he immediately looked away, started to walk in the other direction. Marcus, I called out. He stopped, turned around slowly. Hey Amber, how are you? He shifted uncomfortably. He looked different, older, somehow tired. I'm okay. How are you? I'm great actually. Really great. There was this long awkward pause. Then he said, I really am sorry for what I did. I was in a bad place and I took it out on you. I know, I said. I got your message. Several of them, actually. Right. Yeah. He looked down at his shoes. For what it's worth, I'm glad things worked out for you. I heard you're doing well. I am. No thanks to you, but yeah, I'm doing well. That came out wrong. I just meant I know what you meant. I grabbed a carton of strawberries, put them in my cart. Take care of yourself, Marcus. I walked away before he could respond and I didn't look back. Riley called me that night. Guess what? What? I got asked out by this guy I've been seeing at the gym. He seems really nice. Normal, that's great. Yeah. And he knows what I do, what we do. I was upfront about it and he was just like, cool. That's entrepreneurial. No judgment. See, there are good guys out there. Yeah, maybe I'll actually find one this time. We laughed about her terrible dating history, about my terrible dating history, about how we were both in such better places now. You know what's funny? Riley said, a year ago you were crying on your bathroom floor and now look at us. We're business partners. We own our own lives. We're happy. It is pretty crazy when you put it like that. Marcus thought he was going to destroy you. Instead, he gave you the push you needed to save yourself. He was right. As much as I hated what he'd done, I couldn't deny that it had changed my life. Not because of him, but because of how I'd chosen to respond. I'd chosen power over shame, freedom over fear, myself over someone else's approval. A few months later, Riley's relationship with the gym guy Jason got serious. She brought him to meet us. Me, Victoria, and some of the other women from our support group. He was nervous. You could tell walking into a room full of women who did what we did. But he was respectful, kind. He asked thoughtful questions about our business, about how we supported each other. He never made it weird. You've got a good one, I told Riley later. I know it's scary. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. Not everyone is Marcus or your ex before him. Some people are just good. When did you become so wise? Since I stopped letting other people define my worth. Month 13, I got a message from someone I didn't expect. Jessica, Marcus' sister. We'd been friendly when Marcus and I were together. Not close, but friendly. I hadn't talked to her since the breakup. Hey Amber, her message said. I know this is random, but I wanted to reach out. I heard what Marcus did. What he tried to do. I'm so sorry. That's not okay. And I told him that. I also wanted to say I think it's amazing how you handled it. You turned something meant to hurt you into something powerful. I'm really impressed. I sat with that message for a while before responding. Thanks, Jessica. That means a lot. Also, she wrote back. I'm getting divorced and I'm thinking about doing something similar. Not exactly the same, but taking control of my own life in some way. Would you be willing to talk to me about your business? Not the content creation necessarily, but just how you found the courage to do it. We met for coffee the next week. Jessica told me about her marriage, about how her husband had controlled their finances, made her feel dependent on him, made her feel like she couldn't survive without him. But then I saw what you did, she said. And I thought, if Amber can do that, I can do this. I can leave. I can figure it out. You absolutely can. I'm not saying I want to do content creation. That's not for me. But maybe I could start a business, something of my own. What are you interested in? I used to do photography before I got married. I was pretty good at it. So start there. Do photography. Build a client base. You can do this, Jessica. We met regularly after that. I helped her set up her business. Introduced her to people. Gave her advice on pricing and marketing. Within 3 months, she had her first paying clients. 6 months later, Jessica had a thriving photography business. She specialized in portraits and she was booked solid. She sent me a message. You changed my life. Thank you. But I didn't change her life. She changed her own life. I just showed her it was possible. That's what I realized as more time passed. What Marcus tried to do wasn't just about me. It was about control, about making someone feel powerless. And when I refused to be powerless, when I took that control back, it didn't just free me. It showed other people they could be free too. Riley and I expanded empowered content. We brought on Victoria as a full partner. We were coaching over 100 women. Now some of them did content creation. Others used our framework to start completely different businesses. The point wasn't what they did. The point was that they took control. We hired 2 more coaches, women from our original support group who'd been doing this successfully for years. We created online courses, webinars, a private community forum where women could support each other. My parents hosted a dinner party and invited me. When I got there, my mom introduced me to her book club friends. "This is my daughter Amber," she said. "She runs her own business, a very successful one." No shame in her voice, no hesitation, just pride. Later that night, one of her friends pulled me aside. "Your mother told me what you do," she said. The content creation, my stomach clenched. "Here it comes." I thought the judgment. "I think it's brilliant." She continued. "My daughter is in an abusive relationship and she's terrified to leave because she thinks she can't support herself financially. I'm going to tell her about what you did, about how you took control. Maybe it'll inspire her." "I hope it helps," I said. "And if she needs resources, we have a coaching program. I'd be happy to talk to her." "Really, that would be wonderful." I gave her my card. 2 weeks later, her daughter called. Her name was Emma and she was 29. She'd been with her boyfriend for 5 years. He'd slowly isolated her from friends and family, controlled all their money, made her quit her job. "I just want out," she said. "But I have nothing, no money, nowhere to go." "We can help," I said. "That's what we do." We worked with Emma for months. She didn't do content creation. Instead, we helped her start a virtual assistant business, something she could do from home without her boyfriend knowing. She saved money, slowly made plans. 6 months later, she left him. She moved in with her mom temporarily, built up her business. A year after that, she had her own apartment and a steady stream of clients. "You saved my life," she told me. "You saved your own life," I said. "We just gave you some tools." 2 years after that first message from Marcus, I was speaking at a women's entrepreneur conference. Me speaking at a conference. Riley and Victoria were in the front row cheering me on. I told my story, not all the details, but enough about being threatened, about making a choice, about taking power back. "The thing is," I said to the crowd of over 500 women, "we're taught to be ashamed, to hide, to make ourselves smaller. But what if we didn't? What if we took up space? What if we owned our choices and our bodies and our lives?" The crowd erupted in applause. After the talk, women lined up to speak with me, to thank me, to tell me their stories. One woman said, "My ex did the same thing, but I was too scared. I just went back to him. I'm still with him. But after hearing you today, I think I'm going to leave." "You can do it," I told her. "And if you need help, we're here." She started crying. "Thank you." Another woman said, "I don't want to do content creation, but I want to start a business. I'm just scared I'll fail." "You might fail," I said. "But you might not. And even if you do, you'll learn something. You'll be further ahead than you are now." A younger woman, maybe 22, approached me. "I'm in college. My boyfriend keeps pressuring me to send him pictures. He says, if I don't, it means I don't trust him." After hearing your story, I realized that's manipulation. "It absolutely is," I said. "Don't send anything you're not comfortable with, and if he's pressuring you, that's a red flag. I think I need to break up with him." "That's your choice, but trust your instincts. They're usually right." That night, back at my house, Riley, Victoria, and I sat around my kitchen table. We'd started doing this every week. Meeting to discuss business, but also just to talk, to support each other. "Remember when this was just you trying to get back at your ex?" Victoria said, laughing. "It was never really about getting back at him," I said. "It was about not letting him win." "Well, you definitely didn't let him win," Riley said. "You're literally helping hundreds of women now." "We're helping hundreds of women," I corrected. "This isn't just me. It's all of us." Victoria raised her glass to taking our power back. "To taking our power back," we echoed. My phone buzzed. It was a message from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi, Amber. You don't know me, but my friend Jessica gave me your contact. I'm in a situation similar to yours. My ex is threatening to post pictures if I don't give him money. I'm terrified. Can you help?" I looked at Riley and Victoria. They nodded. As I typed back, "We can help. You're not alone." Over the next few months, we helped that woman. Her name was Celia. She was 31 and her ex was demanding $10,000 or he'd send her pictures to her workplace. He was a teacher. She'd lose her job. We walked her through her options. Legal options. Business options. She decided to start her own tutoring business. Build up savings. Eventually, she had enough to hire a lawyer. Her ex backed down when he realized she wasn't scared anymore. "Thank you," she said when it was all over. "I don't know what I would have done without you all." "You would have figured it out," I said. "But we're glad we could help because that's what I'd learned through all of this. You're never as alone as you think you are." You're never as powerless as someone wants you to believe. And sometimes the thing that's meant to destroy you is actually the thing that sets you free. Riley started getting serious with Jason. They moved in together. I'd never seen her so happy. He wants to meet your parents. He told me one day. Why would he want to meet my parents? Because you're my best friend. You're like family to him now too. So we all had dinner together. My parents, Riley and Jason, Tyler and Hannah and me, felt like a real family, a chosen family. My dad and Jason talked about sports. My mom asked Riley about wedding plans, even though they had only been dating 8 months. Tyler showed everyone pictures of his new baby. Hannah complained about sleepless nights, but she was glowing. You know what I love about this? My mom said, all of us together supporting each other. That's what family does, I said. Marcus thought he was punishing me. He thought he was teaching me a lesson about leaving him. Instead, he gave me the greatest gift possible. He showed me I didn't need him. I didn't need anyone's permission or approval. I just needed to believe in myself. And once I did that, everything else fell into place. 3 years in, empowered content had helped over 500 women. Some went into content creation. Others started completely different businesses. Some just needed help leaving bad situations. We helped them all. We moved into a real office space, hired a full staff, created partnerships with lawyers who gave our clients discounted rates, built relationships with platforms to help keep our clients safe. Victoria started a non-profit arm of the business, helping women who couldn't afford our services, women fleeing domestic violence, women who needed help but had no resources. This is bigger than us now, she said at one of our meetings. This is a movement. And it really felt like that, like we'd started something that was spreading. Other women were creating similar programs. The conversation was changing. People were talking about revenge content, about consent, about taking control. I still create content. I still run my business. But now it's bigger than that. It's about empowerment, community, showing other women that they have options they might not have considered. My parents are proud of me now. They tell their friends about my business. They brag about how I'm helping women. They've come full circle. Tyler brags about me to his friends. My sister's a badass entrepreneur. I heard him say once, it made me smile. Riley's my best friend and business partner. We're planning to expand to other cities. Maybe other countries. The demand is there. Victoria and I are opening 2 more offices next year. One in New York, one in Los Angeles. We're hiring more coaches, building a bigger team. And Marcus, I have no idea what he's doing. I don't think about him anymore. He's not worth my energy. Sometimes I see the messages I saved from that first night, the threats, the manipulation. And I remember how scared I was, how small I felt. But then I look at my life now, at everything I've built, at the women I've helped, at the freedom I have, and I smile because he tried to break me. But instead he made me unbreakable. He tried to shame me, but instead he taught me there's no shame in owning who you are. He tried to control me, but instead he showed me what real control feels like. And you know what? I'm grateful not to him, never to him, but for the lesson, for the push, for the moment that forced me to choose myself. Last month, I spoke at another conference, bigger this time, over 2,000 women. After my talk, a young woman approached me. She was crying. Thank you, she said. My boyfriend has been threatening me for months. I was going to go back to him, but after hearing your story, I'm not. I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to take my power back. Good, I said. And if you need help, reach out. We're here. She hugged me tight. You saved my life. But I didn't save her life. She saved her own life. I just showed her it was possible. Last week I bought my parents a vacation, a real one, to Hawaii. They tried to refuse, but I insisted. You raised me to be strong, I told them. Even if it took me a while to figure out what that meant. This is my way of saying thank you. My mom hugged me tight. We're so proud of you, sweetheart. So proud. And for the first time in a long time I believed it. I was proud of me too. Riley and Jason got engaged last month. She asked me to be her maid of honor. We cried together in my living room. This is all because of you, she said. If you hadn't taken that leap, I never would have quit my job. Never would have met Jason. Never would have found this life. You would have found it eventually, maybe. But you showed me it was possible. Victoria's nonprofit helped its 100th woman last week. We celebrated with cake and champagne in the office. Everyone was crying happy tears. Look at what we built, Victoria said. Look at what we're doing. And it was beautiful. All of it. I'm 30 now. I own 2 houses. I run 2 businesses. I've helped thousands of women. I have a family that supports me, friends who love me, a life I'm proud of. And it all started because someone tried to destroy me. Someone tried to use my shame against me. Someone thought they could control me, but they couldn't because I chose differently. I chose power. I chose freedom. I chose myself. And that made all the difference.